Yo, yo, yo,
Hey,
we
guys.
are Joshless today.
Hey everybody, I'm Caitlin Tyrrell. We have JD and Rob here. We will be watching the newest episode of The Bad Batch shortly. Like Rob said, we are without Josh today, so...
I already miss him. I already miss Josh.
I know.
Josh has quirky things to say. Hey JD, at least you're being honest though, you know? I mean,
I spent a lot of time with Josh for a lot of years, so
for a lot of you. So some time away is good for each other.
yeah.
Kind of like
I need more than a COVID amount of time.
Hey man,
Oh my God.
I mean, so at least a year apart. But doesn't that make the heart grow fonder?
No.
No.
Yeah. Not with Josh.
Oh man.
Not with Josh.
Okay.
Oh jeez.
I don't know what to do with this. I'm gonna breeze on by it.
Star Wars.
So Star Wars. So this is kind of like, I don't know, like maybe the relationship of a Star Wars characters that are hating each other but loving each other at the same time. What correlation could we make between Josh and JD? What correlation could we make?
Probably like Hondo and Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Which
So
are you?
I mean, okay.
I'm gonna go with Hondo.
I would say so. Josh is Obi-Wan. I don't know if he's that
Oh
wise.
no, that's probably backwards.
That's
I
backwards,
would say Obi-Wan
JD.
because Honda's
Yeah.
very sure him and Obi-Wan are like tight.
Yeah, I was gonna say at that point I'd be like, no man, I don't
They're
like
best
you that
friends.
much. They are best friends to
Those
an
are my
extent.
favorite. Those are my favorite things out of Rebels. I was friends with a Jedi. I think we were friends.
I think we were friends.
That needs to be a shirt.
Oh man.
Or
I mean,
we can get like broken heart pendants. We're like wondering.
Oh my gosh! Like
Someone
a
make that.
Hondo or Obi-Wan, or like
Yes,
a Josh and JD one. Dude, a Hondo and an Obi-Wan would be a great one. That's like a little heart bracelet, but it would be like Obi-Wan being like,
yes, exactly.
and Hondo would be like, I don't almost wanted to do my best like Watto impression. No, yeah, but it's not. Really,
I liked it. That was pretty good.
Oh, well, thank you. I tried. Who's here with us? We got Donnie Parsons. Pearson. Hi, Pearson. He's not saying anything.
Can we call him Donnie Parsecs?
Donnie Parsecs. Hey, dude, what's going on, Donnie Parsecs? Hi, man. Hey,
if that's not okay, Donnie, just let us know.
Yeah, Donnie's gonna start throwing things at us through the.
I know. He's gonna stop watching us.
Yeah, don't stop watching, Donnie. We actually do like you. You're a good dude. What? So did we know any more leaked information?
So fast.
I know. Infested has arrived. Oh, Infested! Infested is here. We are infested, y'all. I don't know what that means. Oh, the episode. That's what he's talking about. Oh, yeah, Infested. I see. For some reason, I thought that was somebody's name on the chat. Infested is the name of the episode. Yeah. We should probably start watching.
Maybe.
To save a friend, the Batch plot a mission to sabotage a gangster's operation.
Ooh, gangster.
We got there's a lot of Star Wars gangsters that we are fans of. We got the Jabba Fett and his crew, and we've already had him, or not. I'm sorry, Jabba the Hutt and his crew, and we've already had him hinted at us. So maybe we'll see him.
Jabba Fett.
You guys broke my brain.
We did our job.
So quickly.
We do it for the Jabba. Just not Pete's Jabba. I don't do Pete's Jabba.
My friend works at
gosh.
Beats. My friend works at Beats. I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, what are we expecting on this episode then?
Bugs.
Bugs, dude. I hope
Johnny
Reggie
Rico.
knows this. I hope
Johnny Rico from
Okay.
from Starship Troopers.
Dude,
Neil
yeah,
Patrick
Neil
Harris.
Patrick Harris, yeah.
What was her name? What was that? Denise Richards.
Yeah, now we're talking. Dr. Christmas, if we know what that reference is from. Yeah,
Dope.
Anybody? No?
No.
1999? 1999, maybe?
I heard that the original Johnny Rico was Filipino in the books.
Oh.
But you
I
know,
was
make 'em white.
referring to The World Is Not Enough. With
Is that a James Bond movie?
It is a James Bond movie, yep. She played Dr. Christmas. In the 1999 version of World Is Not Enough.
That's still Pierce Brosnan, right?
It is, and it was the stupidest tagline ever. He said, "I thought Christmas only came once a year." What a dumb line. But it worked, right? I wish you guys could see Shay in the background. He is like literally.
Did we lose
cracking
Kate?
up. I think we almost lost signal because I think Shay almost just hit a button on something else.
Caitlin's like frozen on my screen.
I
haven't heard her talking like.
She is not frozen on mine. Is
Oh.
she? Hello, Caitlin. Caitlin, did we lose you? Caitlin? Hold on. I'll bring her back with Wrecker. Wrecker will bring you back. Wrecker is here.
Wreck it.
Caitlin.
We're gonna wreck it.
Come back to us.
She's like frozen kryptonite.
I don't know. Where's she at? She's definitely if she's frozen there the entire time, hopefully it's a good episode. So she'll be smiling the entire time. It'll be
It's like she really liked this episode the whole way through.
Yeah, she'd be like, hey JD, how'd you like it? And then you give us your expression, and then I'll say, hey. You'd be like, hey, how'd you like it? I'd be like, and you'd be like, Kayla, how'd you like it? Well, she's smiling.
Am I back?
Oh, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
You're just still smiling in the episode, which we love. We love it. That's a happy look.
I left and came back. Should I try again?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, let's try that, and then we'll get you back on, and then we can start.
Yep. All right, she's gone.
Oh, yeah, she's gone, but she is coming back, people.
She's gone.
So JD, last week
What's up?
We saw a Ryloth happen, and
kind
of like a weird.
It's all happening.
It just, I don't know. I wasn't too thrilled with that last week's episode, how it kind of ended.
Yeah, I mean, if you put both of them together, it was a good episode. Because if you think right, it's like 2 parts. So
there she is.
Back half. So
yeah, it was
all
such a. I feel like you said, you put them all together, and it's a great story.
Yeah.
The first half is much stronger than the last half. Caitlin, we
Definitely.
see you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Boom.
Movement.
All right,
Awesome.
We got it going on. Everybody, are we all ready and set to watch this?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. We're all at 0. Let's get to going. Donnie, you ready? Everybody ready? Toku Kid ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I almost bought a little chopper droid when I was at Disney last week. And we're back at Sid's.
Do you remember what planet this is?
No.
Gundarks. That looks like a Black Sun trooper.
They could be your problem. Yeah! That's the Pikes.
Yeah. Oh.
They're on Ord Mantell. This is an interesting way for them to get off this little agreement they've got.
Oh, thanks. I'm muted.
Given his tone, it is a plausible assumption that Sid was.
Do you have headphones, Rob?
Yeah, I'm figuring that out.
Okay. I love that her two like barflies are just hanging out behind her playing cards. Man, I really hope we get like a Star Wars criminal underworld show at some point.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But I like the Pikes.
They were kind of cool in that little Ahsoka arc. I was definitely more interested in them.
Yeah. They were kind of cool with all the prison, like their like home planet or whatever their little base was.
Yeah, and they also were tied to like the Jedi stuff with the dude who went and made the clones.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they get they gave him like the backing for it, like for the money?
I can't remember. I know that they they locked up the dude who went with him. I think that they were used or paid by what's his name? The guy who was Palpatine's little second in command before Anakin.
Tyrannus? Count Dooku?
Yeah.
I was gonna say he's not a little guy.
I know. My brain, man. You guys broke it so bad earlier. Cannot process anything.
Well, here's the thing is we process so many characters in Star Wars anyways. I think there was a little bit of room to forget who Count Dooku was.
I love that record drop.
I think Christopher Lee was good for what he did at that character anyways.
I like Dooku in Clone Wars.
I agree. I think he was cool with the more development factor. He just kind of got thrown in there when Darth Maul got chopped off when I was kids. It was like, who is this guy? Oh, we've talked about him. He's fine.
They set him up to be this huge badass in the second movie, and then the third movie he gets killed immediately, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
I think the one thing I didn't like about Dooku was that it was like he was Qui-Gon's master, and then he was also a Padawan to Yoda. Like it was like this weird line that was just kind of convenient.
Yeah.
You're my master. I'm your master.
I mean, it might explain why Qui-Gon never listened.
Could have been. That was another character that got killed off way too quickly.
I love that Qui-Gon kind of caused all of it. Like, if he had just listened to anyone, we probably wouldn't have had Darth Vader.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have had the coolest villain of all time.
He just cracks me up.
We should be thanking him for it.
Mm.
You talking about Newt Gunray? Coolest villain of all time?
Newt Gunray?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the popcorn.
Newt Gunray is pretty awesome, actually.
It's like a peacock meets an armadillo meets a possum.
For a second, I thought she got stomped.
Oh, that would have been so messed up.
I was just like, holy crap.
I love these guys just hang out in Sid's bar all the time, but they're helping for some reason.
They need a place to hang out.
I guess.
Yeah, that's their spot. They just don't need those guys taking their spot. Like this, it always happens with new management. You just don't. Then the seats are all different. Like,
they're like, we get free beer for a year if we help you with this.
Yep. You can't find your the fact the guy can't find his own pet is a problem.
That's a lot. I will forever find it funny that in that little Ahsoka arc, when not Rafa, but the other sister just panicked and threw all the spice out, and Rafa and Ahsoka immediately look at her like, cool, you just did the worst thing possible. Great.
Trace?
Yeah. I just love that her panic move is like, I'll just get rid of it. It's fine. We have to go deal with like a bunch of scary gangsters, but I'll get rid of their drugs.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of those two. I still am not a huge fan of those two.
That was just like the funniest thing to me, because literally the two that are arguing are like, cool, that was super stupid. And she's... They're much better when they have someone other than Hunter telling them what to do.
For some reason, that's so true.
Right? You'd think that wouldn't make the door open, but like be locked indefinitely. Uh-oh.
This could be like a ride at Disneyland.
That'd be cool. Explosion?
Oh.
Infestation. There we go.
Infestation.
Geonosians? Kilix?
I don't think they're on Geonosia, but could be something
No, they're on
similar.
Ordinary Trouble.
Right, but it could be something similar. Like it might be in the same like area.
I wonder if they're going to run into this pod racing that Qui-Gon talked about.
I would love to see more pod racing. That was something I really enjoyed in the first one.
Yeah, I want to see the rise of Sebulba.
Ew, they're moths. Giant, scary moths.
Wow, tech actually had some use again.
Yeah.
Echo hasn't had any yet, though.
He locked the door with his little droid arm.
He locked the door.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I like about this bug scene, though, is that when they explode, all the guts go everywhere.
Yeah. The pikes also just look cool. Like, design-wise. Uh-oh. What do you guys think is going to happen to Sid?
I hope not nothing. I actually like the Sid character.
I did too.
Maybe they'll have to go to a different world or something, and she'll just start anew.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll follow her. And then they'll make a gang. Everybody in the Sid gang. Sid gang. What I don't understand is they left Omega with them. I don't see that. That doesn't make sense to me.
No, or not unless the other three are like planning a rescue.
They're an elite force. Like, how are you an elite force? You've fought so many battle droids by yourself. 3 Pikes are gonna make you leave the kid? No way.
Not only that, the Pikes don't know who they are. It's not like if they ran, the Pikes could do anything. It's like we're looking for, because you can't really tell they're clones, you know.
Nope.
So it's like we're looking for 4 guys and a kid. Okay.
Yep. And of course, Wrecker goes to save the day.
I'm a little surprised we're getting this because it's not that I don't like it, but there's only 3 episodes left after this. I just felt like we maybe be in the end game by now.
Yeah. Unless we're gonna get another season.
I assume we are, but even still, like unless this is a way for them to maybe get away from Sid or something, then I don't totally get it.
Yeah, it's kind of seems like this seems like a fluff episode.
Yeah, I don't dislike it, but
it doesn't push the story any.
Not yet, at least. It could change.
Yeah.
Like I hope we're wrong, but
yeah. Like Durand.
Well, this guy doesn't turn into an ally.
Durand.
Yeah, Durand.
Yeah.
He's kind of but we don't really know what he's there for.
I mean, they need allies.
Yeah. I mean, Ruby is worth it.
Right? I do like her. I like the little pet. Uh-oh. Nicely done. I like Tech post getting his chip out.
Yeah, he's not a butthead.
Yep. Wrecker does not do great with bugs.
No.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's actually, they're like of their word. That's not bad.
Well, they have no reason not to. They're just making business transactions.
Yeah, but I like that. Oh, his horn.
Yep.
Aw, now he's lopsided.
I feel like we've seen that character inside the cantina before. With his...
With the one horn?
Yep.
Maybe. He's not the one from Rebels, right?
Oof.
Tufago?
Yeah, no, that's not him.
I don't think that's him.
I don't think we've ever seen him before.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun episode. I liked the episode, but we got 3 episodes left of this season, and this didn't really move anything along after. So, but I liked it. The bug thing was cool. I liked that, like horror, but not like really scary horror, but that kind of the element of like bugs attacking you type thing. I like that we got into the Star Wars gangster underworld stuff because that's always really cool and enjoyable. I liked seeing the Pikes because they're interesting. We got to see a little bit of more of Sid and kind of Sid's world. And Tech was really good in this episode.
They actually gave him something to do that made sense.
Yeah. So
it was fun. It's funny because we get a lot of good fun episodes lately that have been good.
Yeah.
It's like they haven't driven the story anywhere.
Yeah. I sort of expected some sort of follow-up from the last episode where we had Crosshair being like, I want to hunt him down, and the Empire being like, okay, great, do that, because they ruined our plans. I would have liked to at least seen like kind of a tease of that at the end.
Yeah, I was hoping this guy was going to be like another villain that they'd have to deal with.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem like it at all.
No. I mean,
Very lackluster.
It definitely would have been cooler if he like held a grudge, but it doesn't really seem like he is.
Yeah, kind of ended weird.
So
Mega's always nice. So
Donnie Pearson says, I hear that D. Bradley Baker, the voice of Bad Batch, is reprising his role as the voice of Olmec in the upcoming CW reboot of Nickelodeon's Legends of the Hidden Temple. Sounds like fun. Would be interesting to see if that would happen, I guess. I remember Legends of the Hidden Temple as a kid. But this episode, going off of this episode, oof, I wish I don't know. I just feel like I wish the story would have been pushed a little bit more. I feel like we're still stuck at Sid's and still not going anywhere with it. Like,
yeah. I mean, as a singular episode on its own, I think it was solid.
Yeah.
It was very fun. I enjoyed it. I would watch it again. The fact that we only have 3 episodes left after this, I would have liked to see Crosshair or something like in an alley being like found them, like something like that. Just something small.
Donnie Pearson, 10 out of 10 Infested.
The title Infested doesn't seem right to me.
No, it doesn't. They were in the moth's nest. That's not really being infested. That's more like you invading their space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space invaders. I like the the barkeepers. They were trying to help out. I thought that was kind of fun.
That was funny. And you immediately sold her out. Like the second they got caught.
Oh, and I love that. I love that Josh has now joined us in our chat with our video screens. He's now sporting the battle droid look. He's here with us in spirit. Got the leg pop and everything. Look at that. I didn't know he was. That must be like.
Shay's used that so many times, it doesn't even faze me anymore.
Oh, I mean.
I feel like it should. It just doesn't. I glanced over and saw it and was like, oh yeah, it makes sense.
Shay, can you get another representation of Josh up there that might be interesting? Like, let's see if we can get a really good one. Like, I don't know, like some kind of like.
Not that creepy dancing turkey. No.
Oh, not the creepy dancing turkey. I'm talking like, I don't know, maybe like a Star Wars something or other, or maybe something obscure Star Wars.
Oh, there are those bugs. Those were cool. Those are a cool little thing. I don't necessarily think we'll see them again, but I liked that it added an element of, like I said, because we do have to acknowledge this is like still a family show to a degree, but I like that it added that element of horror because we have Wrecker just completely freaking out and losing it. We have the fact that the soldiers that were chasing them, or mercenaries, whatever, were freaking out and getting thrown off of their little cars. So I did like that it added that element there because we haven't really seen anything like that for a little while. So I thought that was fun.
It kind of reminded me slightly of that episode of Mandalorian with all the spiders.
Yeah, definitely.
Where the spiders were cool, but the rest of the episode was like, meh. It was cool, but it was like this one. It was a cool episode. It didn't push any of the story.
No, this was definitely filler. This could have been really anywhere during the season. I actually probably would have preferred this earlier in the season because it would have really explained why they stuck around with Sid for so long.
Yeah, for sure, because then it would have been more of a bond between all of them at that point.
Yeah.
But that little light bomb was really cool.
That was awesome. Like, Tech was, I mean, don't get me wrong, Wrecker's always the MVP, but Tech was probably like my favorite of the bunch other than Wrecker this week.
Which he's been like, for what? To like 16, 17 episodes? He was so cool in the original section that we've seen him, and he was just kind of like.
So he's like one for 12?
Yeah.
Maybe two. I think he's been useful like a couple other times.
Well, didn't he turn on the Wrecker did the thing where they exploded the where they were okay, then the battleship where he
I think that was that was him.
Well, that was Wrecker that decided to blow it up, but didn't Tech turn on?
I think so.
Oh, that was Tech. So I'll say two for Tech.
Yeah.
2 for Tech. Echo's the one who's got no justice. There's no justice for Echo.
Like 2 for Teeth.
There really isn't. Yeah. I mean, Echo, I would love for Echo to just be like, we should be good one, Shay. I would love for Echo to be arguing that they should be helping the rebels. I would have loved to actually see an interaction with him and Rex, or him like arguing that they should go help Rex. I would have loved him to argue that they should have helped on Ryloth. I thought that was something that we missed because he would have made the most sense for that for me. I don't think they know what to do with Tech.
I don't know
Tech, not Echo.
I don't even know what to do with Lobot right now on the screen. I said obscure, not doppelganger.
Oh my gosh. I also didn't mind that Hunter wasn't as big of a part as this episode. Hunter's sort of become bland.
Lame.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
He hasn't been as when we met him, and he's just seems a little, I guess, cowardly. Like even last week where he's like, we're not going to help. It was less about it. He's like, we're not going to help because, well, they might see us and blah, blah, blah. I would have loved, because his whole argument is like, we're not soldiers anymore, so we don't know what to do. So that was a moment where last week I'm like, he should have been like, okay, this is our chance to actually help someone that's an ally.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked that we didn't have him making the decisions this week.
I feel like that was kind of helpful and needed. Also, the fact that we're seeing a lot more of like people surrounding the Bad Batch doing more in the last couple episodes, than doing it themselves is kind of unique. But the thing that got me the most in this episode, and it happened last week, is you had, like I said, you had 3 Pikes against just the 4 of you, and you're an elite fighting force.
They don't know your names. They don't know anything about you. You don't look like clones, so it's not like they could have said we're looking for these clones.
Yep.
Yeah. They backed down very, very quickly about, here's the kid we're protecting. Hope it works out.
Yeah. That to me made no sense. It was like, oh, a couple episodes beforehand, we went to this planet and we have to help. We'll go against all these fighting odds, and we're used to doing that. Then it's like the next one, oh no, we can't help over here because they caught us on a scanner. What?
Yeah, I agree. And you can't, like, the argument can't even be it was for the money, because Hera offered them money. So it wasn't like they were doing it for, like, if it was something where it's like, well, they need the cash. They were still offered money. They weren't doing it for free. But I still think they should have, I don't know. It just, they feel directionless still. And they still do in this episode, other than, like, Sid didn't even have to argue that hard. She's like, it's a lose-lose if I lose the bar. Why? They could just leave.
Like, I don't think she would have ratted them out. She's just using that as leverage.
Yeah, because she actually likes Omega. So, and she doesn't know that much about them. Like, she probably knows their names, but the Empire knows their names. And what's she going to say? They were on this planet for a while. Well, they left. So now what? Like, you know what I mean?
She's like writing him out. It's like, I got this goggles guy and muscles. Like, put that on your list. And
there's Bandana and the dude with the droid arm. You gotta arrest him. What?
He has a sonic screwdriver for an arm.
We've got Major Derlin in here. Major Derlin here, John Rathenberger, Mr. Hand himself with us.
Told you, Cheers episode. Cheers episode.
Oh no, yeah, everybody knows our name here. And Ruby. I liked Ruby. Ruby was
cool. Yeah, I mean, like, little pet in Star Wars, you're pretty much not going to go wrong, except for that creepy thing in Jabba's.
Salacious Crumb?
Is that the creepy monkey thing?
Yeah, the spider monkey.
Yeah. I will say I did love in The Mandalorian when we see one of those locked up and just staring sadly at the other one that's been, like, cooked. Yeah. So messed up. Such a small moment. Really darkly funny, though.
Have you seen anything of the Star Wars Detours thing? Any of the clips that are on, like, online?
No.
Oh, Detours?
Yeah.
Oh,
so there was a clip where it, like, slowly shows Salacious Crumb and he's just, like, laughing hysterically. And then he gets a phone call and he gets all proper and stuff. He's just, like, talking to his agent. He's like, a commercial? Really?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I was so sad that Star Wars Detours never, like, got released.
I hope it's gonna come. I mean, like, they're releasing more stuff on.
Well, like, Star Wars Visions, I'm pretty sure isn't Like, that's not canon.
It's not going to be canon. No, there's no way.
They already set up that it doesn't need to be canon to come out. So
yeah, I feel like some of it probably can be, depending on how they set it up. But like the stuff set in Japan, yeah, doubt it.
Yeah.
I guess technically, right? It's a long time in a galaxy far, far away. So,
I mean, it's just the thing that stuck about like Detours was I feel like with how it is was just kind of like making fun of most of the characters, but I feel like Lego does that.
Oh my god, the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special was freaking hilarious because it's just making fun of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Luke is such a moron, and it's great. He's like, what's happening? And everyone's like trying to kill him. He's like, I'm so confused. And then pulls out like the carton of milk. It's so stupid, but it's so funny. And Palpatine, like, and Vader, like, it works when it's that meta, just, this is ridiculous. Like, especially with the originals, they are campy, ridiculous movies. It's part of why we love them. So when they're aware of that, it works really well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's needed on everything, obviously, because it wouldn't work with something like this as much, but I think having a show where it makes fun of it would be a good call. But no, I mean, I think this episode was a good episode. I would have preferred it probably earlier in the season, but it's another filler episode. I would, assuming we get a second season, I'm sort of hoping they go back to either the Clone Wars style or even lean farther into Rebels, where these guys are actively doing something. They have a thing they're going forward towards, be it they're joining the Rebels, they're joining criminals, they're just on the run and finding jobs as they go to stay off the radar and make enough money to keep moving. But for right now, they're just kind of stuck in neutral. And I feel like part of that is the filler episodes. Because like I said, as an episode, this was solid. I like this episode. I thought it was really fun. As the fourth episode, as like the episode where only 3 are left after it, I'm a little concerned.
I really wish we would have gotten back to like the Rebel Alliance forming and seeing
or Camino.
Yeah. Like, go back to that section of it, and then like, you know, if Crosshair is going to hunt them down, why not have them be in a battle where they're in the Rebel Alliance, basically turning back to doing what they were doing as clones? I don't know. Maybe we might get that.
A hint of Crosshair or one of the like Death Troopers or something seeing them and like, I found them. Just a little something to keep it moving, because the title, like, just going off the title Infested, it could have worked on on Camino.
Yeah.
If it was like talking about kind of become infested by the Empire, because we have 3 episodes. I want to see more on Camino. We got to see the confrontation between Crosshair and the Bad Batch. I was sort of expecting them to be building alliances throughout the season so that at the end, if there was some kind of, oh my gosh, sorry, I just saw the picture pop up when we were talking about for Mandalorian.
That's Sarlicia's Crumb.
So messed up. I love it. But like, I expected them to kind of like find allies throughout the season so that at the end, if there was some kind of like big boss battle and they were going up against Crosshair, the Death Troopers, and a bunch of Stormtroopers, they could call people for help. Right now, I don't know who they call. Like, would they really call Cham Syndulla? Because they were super reluctant to help, and Hera knows that. Like, if I was Hera, I'd be like, nah, sorry guys, I don't see how that helps me, because that's basically what they did to her.
They're gonna get Singh, Senator Singh.
Maybe.
Musket.
I mean, maybe.
And his droid.
Yes, his droid.
Still carrying the base.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish this episode had Roland take over. Like, literally take over, and then they had to start doing jobs for him.
Yeah.
Because that would have, like, built some kind of tension, you know, and they'd have to start doing jobs that they didn't want to, you know? Like, that would have been more interesting.
especially if Sid had kept records on them somehow, and he's like, I have your ship ID, I have all your information. You don't work for me, I'll turn you in. I don't care. Like that would have added that layer of tension that would have been good. But like, it's the same thing that's happened with every episode, and it's sort of something that happens with these episodic shows and procedural shows of we start in one spot and we kind of end in the same spot. But I feel like Star Wars and these types of shows has always done a good job of still moving forward, if not like on Rebels. Obviously, it's not like they win or anything like they really have moved the rebellion forward in every episode, but you have the progression of character development or relationship built or emotions or something. And in this, we really haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's very lackluster.
It's almost like watching Cheers.
Kind of. It does feel very.
I mean, it's kind of the same. You get in the same kind of jam, just different places.
Yeah, it is very procedural.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where the section where I feel like, almost the first season of Clone Wars was kind of like that.
Yeah.
To where like some 2-3 episodes were like bomb. They were like, that's awesome. And then you're like, what is this? What are we watching? And then it would be like a little bit out of order or whatnot. This hasn't been out of order.
No, I definitely think this is stronger than the first season, but I get what you're saying where it's like, we aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, it's really slow.
I had no issues with really any of these episodes. They've all been pretty solid, fun episodes.
I agree.
They're just not progressing the story at all.
I think I had an issue with last week's episode, but that's more because it felt like the week before last built up something that we didn't get.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with that. Actually, when you were having a little technical difficulties with your thing, JD and I were also saying if you were to put that in the same episode, it might feel a little different at the same time. But like that one, I think was probably one of the first half of that story was one of the strongest. Was one of the strongest episodes we've seen, and it was one of the funnest ones because it's like, oh great, here's a fun character that we know, and to be honest, I feel like Hera and Chopper's section story was way better than Rex's.
I agree.
Oh my gosh, I mean, even Kanan in the first episode that we saw, the first section was way better than Rex's. Rex got
yeah. Rex's episode
Rex got the shaft.
Yeah, Rex's episode was such a waste, especially because like. I'm hoping Rex comes back in the finale because it's the same voice actor. It's not like it's difficult, So I'm hoping we see him in like the finale or the last 2 episodes or something because you're right. Like Kanan's like 3 minutes were better than this. Yep. Hera was great in both episodes. I thought she was really fun, really interesting. I love that we got a little bit of that origin story of like. We see why she wants to join the rebellion. We, of course, see her wanting to fly and loving to fly. And I like that I love that with Kanan, we see, okay, this is why you won't trust clones. With Hera, okay, this is why she's willing to trust clones. And we see that dichotomy, and it's tied to the Bad Batch. And a really, really interesting way where it's not something that either of them would really know because it's more peripheral. But I thought it was a really cool little touch of, these clones are tied to their opinions on clones. So I thought that was great. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, these episodes have been really, really fun for different reasons. Like you have ones like this and the one that has like the really great car chase, like that are more filler feeling, but are still great.
Yeah, even the car chase that you were talking about with
Fennec,
that one was fun. But it was just a lot of things blowing up with really some funny wrecker moments, but that was about it.
I feel like because we don't have the background of the war, because we don't have the background of the rebellion, we don't have something that's story forward because we've sort of shifted away from the buildup of the Empire, which is something I was really excited about, and we saw a lot more often early in the show. Like we saw it some in the last 2 episodes, the last 3 episodes before this, which I liked. And so I would have loved to see more of that and see how they're just kind of really taking over every part of the galaxy and having it where these guys, again, it would have worked better if they're on the run the whole time, because we would have had every time they go to a new planet, it's like, oh, the Empire is already here, or the Empire's coming, so we have to move again. Sort of lost the urgency with that I think would have been a really good way to push the story forward, because both those shows have had that element of pushing the story forward, even if it's not the main element of the episode itself. Wow.
It's Lumpy. It's Lumpy.
Lumpy, my favorite. You know, that is the best look Josh has ever had. I gotta say.
Is B. Arthur coming next?
Oh man. Nope, John Rathenberger. Okay, so who is everybody seen a holiday special? Everybody's seen a holiday special, right? No?
It's Lumpwaru.
How have you not seen the holiday special?
It's
on to watch the holiday special.
Where is it?
YouTube. You can find it on YouTube.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Oh my gosh.
You have to watch the whole thing though.
I've seen the outfit that Mark Hamill wears. I have seen that because he hates it.
Should we do a watch along?
We get done doing Bad Batch. I feel we need to do a watch along with the holiday special.
I think we should do a holiday special watch along with the original and the Lego one during the holidays.
I 100% agree. I think that would just be
and just get drunk.
JD, you've seen it, right?
Yes, I tried to force my roommates to watch it last year.
Oh my gosh,
didn't work.
I did watch part of it and then went to sleep.
How would you describe the holiday special to someone?
The greatest Star Wars thing ever.
Oh wow. Okay. I love it. I love it.
You just try to fully trick people into it.
He just went straight for it. I would have flat out said like Star Wars meets Cirque du Soleil.
Wow. All right.
It's like a variety show.
Yeah. I mean,
Star Wars variety show.
Got the Golden
Star Wars
Girls.
meets the Muppet Show.
Yeah, meets the Muppets,
and there's singing. There's lots of
Lumpy.
Yeah, Lumpy. That's Chewbacca's son.
Yeah, that's Chewbacca's son.
In the
oh my god, that's so much worse. Go back to the other one.
No,
and then his dad is named Itchy.
I thought Chewbacca was his dad.
Hey.
No. Chewbacca's dad. Chewbacca's dad.
Can you get the Stir Whip lady? Can you get the Stir Whip lady in there? She's my favorite. See, here's the best part about the holiday special. You don't not only get B. Arthur singing, you don't only get Han Solo, you get Luke Skywalker, you get Princess Leia, and you get some of the droids, but you get a cooking class.
No, that's
not the
Oh my god, what is that?
That right there is portions of Lumpy when he's watching the Cirque du Soleil show. Yes.
Oof.
This is pre-COVID because then they're not bankrupt because it's up the section.
It's Itchy and then Mala. We also get the first appearance of Boba Fett with the cartoon part.
I do remember
and
that.
Actually, it's funny because on Disney Plus they actually show that Boba Fett cartoon, but they wouldn't show the rest of the holiday special.
Like people Boba Fett, the rest no.
It's already out there. Like you might as well just release it. Honestly,
there it
officially release it.
Okay, hold on. Don't tell her.
That's Itchy.
We're okay. Well, it's Itchy. But I was gonna say what that is. Have you ever you know at the end of Last Crusade when they picked the wrong cup?
Yeah.
Yeah, he chose wrongly. He chose poorly.
Oh my god.
Like this could be like Michael J. Fox.
Actually, I think if you zoom in, you might be able to see the guy behind the mask in that one.
I'm so intrigued and so horrified. I can't wait.
You should be.
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel like it should turn into a drinking happens, but
in Legends they kind of made like part of this canon because they bring back
it should be straight up canon. Life Day is a thing, man.
Life Day is
a thing.
Okay. If Chewbacca doesn't get back for Life Day, we never have Return of the Jedi. Let's be real about it. Okay. Or would that be Empire Strikes Back?
Oh my God.
We just wouldn't have any. Look at that. Look at the zoom.
It's
Look
like a
at the
chupacabra
zoom.
or something.
I can't
Yeah.
believe you are
He's
doing
a
this.
Wendigo.
What are you doing, Jay?
He's got the top lip going, but look at the 1, 2. That looks like a Tic Tac. That looks like a Tic Tac.
A chiclet? Remember chiclets?
It's a ticklet. It's a little ticklet.
Oh,
What do you
Chiclet.
guys think it is out in the chat out there? Who has seen the holiday special?
It's his bling. It's his.
Anybody seen the holiday special? Party House Word Group. Have you seen it? Donnie Parsons is left.
Pearson.
Damn.
Oh, it's Pearson. Yeah. Yes, it's Pearson.
The holiday special made.
Watching the holiday special now as we speak.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
Left to go watch the holiday special.
I don't blame him. I mean, how could you not like the holiday special? There's about at least maybe 45 to an hour worth of that show that you could cut out and it would still not make any sense.
Wait, how long is it?
It's, yeah, I think about
It's
2 hours.
Oh my God.
I mean,
It'd be the
there's a
greatest 2 hours of our
throughout
lives.
the entire thing, but I mean, look at that. Look how happy they are.
Is that supposed to be Chewbacca?
No, that's
On the left?
Mala.
Oh yeah, that's his wife.
Mala is on the left, and that's his grandfather, Itchy, on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got John
Oh
Rathenberg.
my
with us.
God. That is scary.
It's not as scary as when you watch it, though.
So glad I've agreed to this.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
It's binding now that you've done it.
I know, I
online.
agreed online.
You agreed online. We now have the agreements.
I can't be like, no, that was off the air. Nope, totally agreed while on the show.
Nope, we'll go right back to Bad Batch episode 13 and say, hey, we've got you saying it on here. And JD and I will laugh the entire time because it'll be a great time.
You guys will be watching the show. You'll just be watching my reactions as I get more.
Yeah, because JD and I have already lived through watching it. So
we'll watch your floor as it goes on.
There was in the finale of Loki when I was during the live watch along. I'm not even kidding. So spoilers if you haven't seen the finale of Loki. When Loki and Sylvie kiss, I just like left. I just completely sunk in my seat. I was like, nope, not dealing with it. So I'm
the pictures, and it just shows the one that live has like the popcorn, just like watching like.
I'm so mad.
There it is.
No,
okay.
what are you
doing?
doing? Oh God, that's
Shay,
worse.
I knew you were laughing at something. I was wondering. I was waiting for it. I was like, he was figuring something out on the screen. We can see Shay in the back, the producer. He was laughing his butt off. I had no idea why, and now we have seen it on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Lumpy, the best thing to happen to Star Wars.
Horrified, who's like really quickly sunk to be less intrigued and more horrified.
See, what I don't understand is why did we have Omega when we could have just had Lumpy? Could you imagine if they just got this like force-sensitive, wonderful?
You mean like Gunji?
Yes,
Gunji.
Gunji.
Yes,
Gunji was great.
I want to see what happened to them.
Oh,
I
they all got murdered.
By Anakin?
Yep.
Yeah. I honestly wish though that they were like, "Hey, Gunji. I mean, Lumpy. I mean, oh, Gunji, it's you." I wish they. I wish they
like say that all
through his name. Yeah, it's like his little hint, like, "Hey, Lumpy. I mean, Gunji. I mean."
They could have nicknamed him Lumpy for some reason.
Yeah. We have 5 people in the chat. I wonder what they think about it. You guys have a thought? Anybody?
Lumpwaru is awesome. That's his name when they bring him back for the expanded universe. Lumpwaru.
Lumpwaru.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Shay,
dude, but look at those teeth though. He totally brushes them. He's gotta brush those. Look at that brush. Yeah, he's got the whole uplift. Oh my gosh!
You suck. That's so much worse.
Wow! No.
That's what I did. You
Okay.
know it. You're the worst.
Okay, so the one before it is you
Uh.
without drugs. This one is on drugs. Okay.
This is like
This is
like
that was before Death Sticks. This is after Death Sticks.
this was like the 20 years you spend on Tatooine. Right from like Obi-Wan, like from the end of Clone Wars to like Obi-Wan to New Hope.
Oh man, it's gonna be the new show we're gonna see that's gonna be in December with Obi-Wan. It's like, hey Obi-Wan, did you fight through the Clone Wars?
I thought Boba Fett was December.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Boba Fett is December.
Yeah,
well, there was like some news about Obi-Wan. I think the last couple of weeks they cast it. They said that they cast. I want to say Cinelinx or something reported that they cast a young Leia. And that we might be getting the fifth brother that we met in Rebels. So it's like
I
one
saw
of those
something about the fifth brother.
A fifth brother?
The Inquisitor from Rebels, the fifth brother.
Yeah, the fifth brother. The big one.
Brother. Well, I hope he looks like this guy.
Oh, it's like green, isn't he, or something like that?
Gray.
I don't know, but it really has that snap action when he opens his mouth. Do you see the snap? It's like.
No, I scrolled away because I didn't want to deal with it.
Oh, so sad. I can't wait for us to watch it. You're really gonna get to meet Chewbacca's family.
I don't believe you. I don't.
No, you will. You get to meet the whole family.
Them as canon.
It's really his family. It's
and JD is actually fluent in Wookiee, so he will be able to translate. No, I know you know how to speak Wookiee, JD. We need to do the English version of the Wookiee factor because we don't know how to speak Wookiee.
All right.
There's like a whole section of it where they don't speak anything but.
Oh yeah, it's just all like grunts and
yeah. There's a good 5-10 minutes of nothing. There's no.
I'm surprised they didn't sing in Wookiee. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to spoil it for you.
Yeah. Spoiler.
They don't sing Christmas songs.
They don't sing in Wookiee.
What?
No. They go rah 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 rah.
You just have them harmonizing.
Got R2 in the background. Beep 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 beep.
Just his shrieking as it's happening.
Wow! Wow! That's funny.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am going to attempt to bring this back to the Bad Batch.
Yeah, let's go back to Bad Batch.
Was that what we were talking about?
Yeah, but
not for the last like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, we have 7 people watching us talk about Bad Batch, but not talk about Bad Batch.
7 people watching us talk about the holiday special.
Yes, they are very interested.
When we talk about
whip, stir, whip, 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 stir, whip, 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 stir. Shay, do you have a video of the stir whip lady? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
She's Luke to cook, right?
Yeah, she cooks.
I've seen something with that.
She doesn't have just one hand. She's got 2 hands, and then she's got a 3rd hand. Very strange.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch this. This sounds awful. I love it.
That's not her.
I hate you so much.
What I really want to see though is Itchy.
I don't.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Monster Sharky.
So back to the Bad Batch. So with 3 episodes left, what do you guys hope that we see?
Story.
Lumpy.
Nope. Nope, not letting you do that. Real answer.
Story. Lumpy.
Music. A musical number.
Oh my god. I love JD. Lumpy. Oh.
I was was like trying to calculate in my head. I'm like, does that timeline work? No, like that, I don't think it does.
No, it does actually. It would.
Well,
make
I mean,
sense.
it depends how old Lumpy is.
I mean,
like, do they age
honest,
slow like Yoda's race, or
like Chewbacca's old as heck, man?
Yeah, he's like
friends with
200
Yoda
something.
during the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I do remember
But I mean,
that.
he's older than that. He's like 200 years
There
old.
she is.
Something like
there
that.
she is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I have not seen that. That's 4 hands.
She kind of looks like the villain in, was it Cinderella, like the stepmom?
Yo, yeah, she does. She looks like Lady
that hair.
with that hair.
Yeah.
What the heck is happening? She's not even stirring right. She's
That's
just
not
doing
how you stir.
this.
Why is one of her hands just like sticking like in there? Like it's just like stirring, just like dip.
No. It's stir, whip, stir.
She's not doing that.
But one of her hands isn't doing any of those things.
All of her hand
It's
is
just,
like
like,
doing this. She's just.
I think she's I don't know. I think she's trying to make French onion soup.
In Star Wars, where French doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Me and my brother went to like the fair, and we saw some like, I don't know what they're called, like llamas or alpacas. I don't know what they are. And then I was like, dude, what if these are just like evolved tauntauns? And then I was like, all right, what if Lucas was like alive back then, and then he's been reincarnated, and now he's just remembering the stories that they're telling us now?
How stoned were you for this conversation?
I didn't do drugs until recently.
What in the heck was that answer?
And then he was going stir, whip, stir, stir, whip, stir.
Oh my god. Well, for Bad Batch,
Back to Bad Batch.
I hope I've tried to do this 4 times. I hope we see Camino again. I don't know that we're gonna get the uprising that you've wanted, Rob. I feel like don't have enough time. But
I don't think so either, unless they start it with the last 3 episodes and we hit it right off the bat. I mean, I was hoping for that. I was hoping for a little bit of Camino, like we see the fall of Camino.
Yeah.
More of the Caminoans going little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't think we're going to see any bounty hunters.
I don't either.
Know the title next episode?
The next episode is the last one that got leaked. It's supposed to be called War Mantle. So it could potentially be them kind of starting to really, like, this could be kind of the end game of the season where it's going to be a 3-parter, which I'd be really into.
I hope so. It would make sense. I mean, usually most of those end season ones are kind of grouped together.
Yeah. The only way I'd be happy if it was a filler is if it was Bo-Katan, because there were rumors that we were supposed to see her, and War Mantle sounds Mandalorian, so that would be the only way I'd be okay with it.
Wouldn't it be neat if we went to Mandalore and saw some Mandalore stuff? Oh, hey, can we do that?
I would love that. That's one of the reasons I've been so bummed that they haven't just been planet hopping, because they would have ended up on Mandalore for some reason.
Right.
They could have gone so many places. Like, I can think like multiple places in my head.
I'm hoping, because I'm assuming we're getting a season 2. That's my assumption. So I'm hoping that it gets set up where they are going to be on the run in some capacity, be it they're actively on the run from the Empire, they're helping the rebellion, so they're on the run in that capacity, or they're on the run because they're doing different jobs for like different criminals, like something where we're planet hopping a little more. It's one of the things I liked on Clone Wars is we saw tons of different planets all the time because it was an intergalactic war. Even like Rebels was really focused on a singular planet for the first season, but we started seeing more planets as the show went on. I also think it worked better on Rebels because the family dynamic was more prominent. I feel like we haven't gotten Because one of the things they talked about a lot as the show was starting was because the head writer served in the Navy, so she was talking about how she understood the soldier dynamic, and I just feel like we haven't had a real dynamic in a way that's been anything other than they follow Hunter. And I would like to see a little bit more camaraderie of we saw it in the pilot. That was about it.
Yep.
Could it be like a dynamic of like now the war's over and like they came back home and like they don't know what to do and they've done this the whole season? Like
we've just had it be where they're like, well, we're not soldiers anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
But we haven't really seen them deal with that in any capacity. We haven't seen them wanting to do different things. Like I would love, because we've said they don't really know what to do with Echo. So I would love if Echo was more actively arguing of like, no, we should help the people of we should help these people on Ryloth because Cham Syndulla is a really he's been an ally to the clones during the Clone War, or making those arguments or being like, well, we shouldn't help gangsters. Why should we do that? I would love for him to be a little more closely tied to Rex and the other regular clones in that capacity. If he had been the one, if he turned around and told Hauser last week of they have chips in their head, you can't trust them, that would have been great to me, because I feel like Echo needs to be kind of that voice of, I want to help because that's always what we've done. Because he didn't start out as a Bad Batch. He started out as a regular clone that was part of the regular clone army and helping people. Whereas the Bad Batch have always kind of been outsiders. So I'd love to see a little bit more tension there. And I'd like to see tension throughout. I mean, it was one of the things that happened in the first episode with Crosshair. And I would have liked that a little more, because we've said it. Hunter hasn't been great as a leader.
Yeah. I always like the idea of Crosshair staying on the team and not turning so early.
Yeah.
I kind of get it, but he was the only one that was questioning Hunter in the beginning, And I thought
they haven't utilized the fact that he left.
Yeah. So I thought them butting heads maybe for a few episodes before his chip really kicked in.
Yeah.
Might have been giving him enough tension and stuff like that to keep it interesting. But
yep, I agree.
It's super boring.
They haven't even we haven't seen them. We haven't seen them really do anything about Crosshair. They haven't been well, we can help him. He's being affected by a chip. Let's grab him. Let's knock him out. Let's get him out. They haven't been well, he's beyond hope at this point. He's killed too many. We haven't seen any conversation around that, other than once in a while Wrecker being I miss Crosshair. So I would love if we saw a little more tension. I'd love if we saw the real feeling of brothers in arms camaraderie of, no, they're sticking together and they're going to follow Hunter because they don't know what else to do and they trust each other and they've been there for each other. But we haven't seen that enough. We really saw that in the first episode, and it's sort of fallen by the wayside because it feels like a bit rudderless when they don't have the conflict as the central aspect of the story, when I don't think it needs to be.
Yeah, I feel like that lacks as well. Here's a question for you guys. How long do you feel that this show, how many seasons do you think this show could go?
I think if it started to feel like there was an actual direction to it, I'd say it could go for 3 or so seasons. I wouldn't be surprised by that. If it keeps being just super procedural.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it could go as long. I mean, it could technically go as long, but I don't know if you would have I just don't see this having as big of an impact as Rebels and Clone Wars had, because we don't have that kind of, it doesn't have that same feel to it.
And it doesn't have that same connection to it either.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Resistance?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I mean, at this point, I like Resistance more than I like this show. And Resistance only got two seasons.
I will agree with you at that point, because it was all the yes and no. I feel like Resistance had that cool factor of we got to see some of the stuff of the Resistance and the
sequel trilogy.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff, which was kind of neat. And we got to kind of see just like the back half of what was happening. We didn't get to see like, what we saw in 7, 8, and 9. It was all the guys in the background almost. What was going on in their lives on a spaceport, which was cool.
Yeah.
I thought that show, the supporting cast was a lot better than the main character, and it was all the supporting cast that like kept that show going.
Yeah. Their droid was really cool in that too, though. They had some cool droids in there.
Yeah. Well, what was his name? I can't remember.
It was a little red and blue droid, right?
Yeah, something like that.
It was right. But there's like an older one too that was really
Yeah.
And it was like falling apart half the time, and then they would fix him when stuff would happen.
Yeah, but like the guy from that, the guy who was the leader of the Colossus, like that'd be cool to see that dude.
Yeah.
The guy who ran the spaceport, like this would be like around.
How old was he during that?
The dreadlocks
he was
guy?
older.
Okay.
No. I mean, he would be cool to see too.
Oh, the captain.
The captain. Yeah.
He could totally be in
like not to spoil anything, but he makes sense at this time.
He could totally be in it. That would be kind of neat, a cross section of that.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things they could do, like just to connect, like things, even properties they don't really like, they weren't like doing well. Like they can connect it back to this, this era of.
I mean, this could have been connected to Mandalorian if they had visited like the moon from Mandalore and talked to the Death Watch, because that's what they could have been building relationships, and because this show has less of a supporting cast. It has kind of these core 5, and then their supporting cast is basically Sid. So if we were meeting, like when we've met Hera or when we've seen characters that we already like, that's always really fun. But if we also were seeing characters where it's like, okay, that could be someone that we meet down the line, or that could be like Mando, that would work well. Or if they're just visiting planets that are more interesting. Like I would love to see new planets that are just super weird.
Yeah.
And we haven't done that as much.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is a cool time period. We haven't ever been in this time period. And I would have loved to see more of like the Empire really rising to power, because they popped up overnight. They're like, the war's over. Also, we're an empire now, and everyone just kind of had to accept it. And we've seen hints of that, and we've seen hints of people not accepting it. So I would have loved to see more of that than we got. Don't get me wrong, it was definitely part of the show, but I think that it could have been really utilized better as kind of the central conflict of the series that we had with Clone Wars and the War, obviously, and Rebels and the Rebellion. So I feel like because they haven't had that sort of centralized aspect to this, we've been lacking. And because we haven't really seen any character growth from anyone other than Omega, So if we'd really seen character growth with conflict between these guys, with someone thinking one thing and someone else thinking something else, if we had them taking different kinds of jobs, like maybe they work for the Rebellion, maybe they work for criminals, maybe they take a job for like a really small person in the Empire just to see, you know what I mean? Like having them have that debate of like, why don't we work for the Empire?
Yep.
I would really have liked that more. And I feel like if they do that, like it just feels like because they've had this whole, well, they have to stay neutral, it's become super redundant in a way that it didn't need to be, because neutrality doesn't necessarily mean not doing like not choosing a side can mean testing the waters in all of them. It doesn't mean you don't touch any of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't do that.
Yeah, they're not even accidentally doing it on either way, which would have made it more interesting.
Oh yeah, that'd be great if they did a job for someone that turned out that it was like through the Empire, but they didn't realize. That would have been very cool, very interesting. Like there were just. I'm hoping if this gets a second season, where something huge is going to happen in the finale that sets it up. but I definitely want to visit planets that we know, people that we know. And I mean, it's one of the reasons I think Ahsoka would have like been really interesting in the first season, because I feel like she would have been the one kind of asking them, being like, "What exactly is your plan?" Because no one's really asked them that. I mean, Rex is like, "Do you want to come help me?" And they're like, "No," and he's like, "Okay," and leaves. But he never said like, "Then what are you doing?" Because right now you're just putting that kid in danger because you've built no allies.
Yep. Because they're just trying to help the kid out with no reason for being helped.
And they're just kind of trying to survive on their own, like kind of being, it's kind of like
what's
it's
the
all
point
of us.
of, we still haven't figured out what the point of Omega was or is.
Yeah, she's an enhanced clone, but we still don't know. Like, they haven't even really been like, what are her enhancements? They haven't asked that question.
I feel like everything we want is like gonna happen like a lot slower than we expected. Like, oh, these things like we want. It's like, oh, it's not gonna happen now. It's gonna happen middle of season 2, end of season 2, beginning of season 3. Like they really stretched it out too far.
Yeah, it's too slow. Like, the episodes themselves are fun. Don't be wrong, they're fun to watch, but it doesn't really feel like there's a larger plan that's being set up. I mean, one of my favorite things that happens on like some TV shows is when things that feel super disconnected all turn out to be like part of the end game of the finale. And it doesn't really feel like we've had that build up at all. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're going to find out all of it is connected in the finale, but I haven't felt like that. It's felt a little too like, oh, we're going to do this now. Oh, we're going to do this now. Oh, we're going to do this now. Not like there's kind of this underlying plan that even the Bad Batch doesn't know about.
Yeah, if they were able to pull that off somehow with what's been already shown,
I'd be very impressed.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But as of right now,
I mean, do we know how involved Dave Filoni was in this show? Like, I know he's a producer, but he's not the head writer, and I don't know that he's really directed any, because it feels like it's missing a little bit of that.
It seems like it's missing a little bit of his flair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think he's doing a little bit more of the live action stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a Mandalorian. He's doing Ahsoka, and he's involved with Boba Fett. So I wouldn't be shocked if he was less involved with this than he has been in the past. But I mean, I feel like it just misses a little bit of that magic that he brings to it.
Yeah.
Because, like, Clone Wars, I think, is a good example with Ahsoka specifically. She was set up as a character, like, a lot of people didn't like her at the beginning, and she was set up in a way that her character progression made you over time like her. Because, yeah, she was set up as kind of like a bratty teenager, which is fair because she's 14. But you also saw her grow throughout the episodes where she would do something and you're like, oh, okay, that was stupid. And then she learned something and grew. Like the episode where she loses her lightsaber and has to work with that older Jedi that's like, you have to go slower, you have to like really, you have to think this through. So you saw her become this better character, and with these guys we haven't really seen any character progression in a way that's been useful, and we haven't seen them have to deal with things beyond, we need money for food and fuel. Oh, well, if we take jobs from Sid, I guess we can get that. And then they've kind of been stuck after this, and they're like, well, we have to take care of the kid, but they haven't really, it's like, okay, what's her powers? Why are they chasing her? They haven't investigated anything with that. And they also, like, they're basically just taking her on missions, which if your main goal is to keep her safe, seems like a weird move.
Yeah.
So it just feels like it's missing a little bit of that larger picture planning, and
that's why I was kind of like saying, how long do you guys feel like that this season or show will go on for? Because like, I feel like you're saying 3 seasons tops for most of it, the way it's going. Because like, I mean, we never see them in anything else unless you start merging them in with other people.
Yeah.
Rebels was 5 or 4.
4.
Rebels
4.
Was 4.
Yeah.
And Clone Wars ended up as 6.
No,
or 7?
I was at like 8.
Which Which one?
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
7.
Yeah.
It stopped the first time after like
6, I think.
It's
No.
not 6, and then
4 or 5 because they got 1 through Netflix.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think if nothing changes, it'll be shorter. But I think if it starts really leaning into, I mean, we haven't really seen it lean into the mercenaries thing in any way that's been useful because they basically just work for Sid instead of having them find different jobs. So I think if they really start leaning into that, if we see more of this conflict that's building and the powder keg that's building in the galaxy and really lean into that a little more, it would be more interesting. Like, I would love if at the next episode, the Empire invades this planet or like finds them so that they have to run. I think we need that tension and we've been missing it.
Or starts testing out, like, I don't know, a spaceship that explodes planets.
A little early for that.
I mean, they could do test runs, couldn't they? Like, it doesn't.
It's not built yet.
I mean,
but they gotta have
test run it on Jeddah.
They're using the technology and testing things out. Like, we've never really, I know I wasn't built at this point, but I'm saying is couldn't they go along and be like, oh well, I mean, at the end of.
They could be testing weapons that basically disintegrate people and then be like, let's do this on a larger scale of the planet. Yeah, I follow.
Destroy small boulders.
Getting on. Was that?
Destroying small boulders.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, disintegrating people, disintegrating towns.
I mean, Boba Fett does that by himself, so disintegration.
It's true.
Yeah.
So they should take lessons from him.
Yes.
But that's why they say no disintegration.
But yeah, I because we've said before, and I know that we are criticizing the show and giving it a hard time, but the episodes themselves, for the most part, have been really fun. They're definitely episodes that I watch again. It's not where I'm like, cool, I'm never gonna watch this. It's a very fun show. It just I think I expect a little bit more because of how, especially after the final season of Clone Wars, I was expecting a little more.
So do you think that we're unfairly rating it because we see it as a continuation of Clone Wars when really it's its own show and they're starting back from one?
I would say yes, except they have marketed it as a continuation of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
If they hadn't done that, then I would say yes. But because they were saying this is the successor of Clone Wars, story-wise and feel and animation style, I would say no. I'd say you've set it up. You had the final season of Clone Wars that very much built into this. You had the Bad Batch get introduced. You had Tech join them. You had the fall of the Republic. And so with that there, and then leading into this, I'd say no, we're not judging it unfairly. If you're gonna set something up in the final season of kind of the Star Wars animated show that put Star Wars animation on the map, and you're gonna say this is its successor, you kind of gotta step your game up.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I just thought I'd put it out there.
That's a totally fair question.
I agree with that too, because honestly, even these stories now, I mean, we're Star Wars fans. Star Wars fans are the most critical, judgmental fans there is.
Just watch a long series this whole time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could go off of some other style of show and be like, great, that was fun. It's over with. You get characters that people have known for 40 plus years. Ooh, man, people get crazy about that stuff.
I mean, this is a universe. This is a unique universe that has been built over 4 decades, and you're adding something to it, and it's on the back of a property that kind of kicked off a completely different medium of the storytelling. It's hard to
honestly. Some of those media, that storytelling was better than what we got film wise.
100% agree.
I feel like this is going towards Last Jedi. I'm just saying, like we're leaning towards the direction
I wouldn't put it in that category because that was even that. Oof.
I mean,
not Bad Batch, but like our conversation is like just leading.
Oh, our conversation.
Yeah.
Is
the Last Jedi of like,
Jedi.
the characters we've loved for 40 years, and they fucked about it.
Oh man, I gotta be honest, y'all. I don't know how many times y'all have seen, like, for me in Star Wars releases, I usually try to see those movies at least 3 times in the theater.
Nice.
At least try to. Last
done
Jedi was the only one I actually I watched twice and went, I don't need to see this again.
I did Rise of Skywalker once, walked out of the theater with a headache, and went, cool, I'm done with that.
Oof.
That one again.
I'm going to admit this on YouTube. I napped for like 15 minutes. And
Dude, I got tired too.
I was like, where are we going with this? There was some cool scenes. And then there was like, why didn't we see more of that?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like one of the things that's so amazing about Clone Wars is it makes the prequels better. It elevates that story. Yes. So coming off of that and having where like the animation style, the characters, the like chronology, this is a follow-up to Clone Wars. You cannot argue otherwise.
Yep.
Yes.
And then so going from the final season where it's like these 3 chunks of 4 episode stories, 2 extremely strong ones, one that a lot of people don't like as much. I personally do, but I understand why people don't. And then you're going to every episode is disconnected except for like one in there, like 1 2-parter in there, but they're all disconnected. They're all kind of more filler. We have a few at the beginning that move the story along sort of, but taking that step back from the world building, the character development, the relationship development, the story progression, it feels like such a like swing and a miss where we should have seen more Camino. We should have seen more about the chips. We should see more of the Empire taking over. We should, in like relation to the Bad Batch, we should see them having a lot of like inner conflict and dealing with the fact that they are soldiers without a cause, without a war. Why aren't they arguing about which one they should find?
And they're really just arguing about where are we going to run to, where are we going to get the next buck. And that is the last thing that they've ever had to do.
They aren't even really arguing about that, though. They're basically like, I guess we're going, like, I wouldn't even mind if we had that argument. If it was, we can't keep going back to SIDS. We're going to get found. Or, like, I don't want to take this job for whatever reason. Yeah. We haven't really seen that. They found Sid, and they're like, cool, I guess we're doing this. So it lacks that. I mean, throughout Clone Wars, I mean, the conflicts were always there. You had, even if it wasn't like, it was butting heads at the very least. You have Anakin and Obi-Wan butting heads because they are fundamentally different. You have Anakin and Ahsoka butting heads because they're very different. You have, like, in the Senate, we got to see some stuff with Padme dealing with senators that thought differently. So you always had those conflicts, and we really haven't had it except for externally where it's like, well, we got to do this job. Okay, fight, leave.
Right. There was no payoff. There has been no payoff with this yet.
Yeah. And like Rebels even, you have the inner conflicts within the team. Like a really good example is at the beginning of season 2 where Hera's like, no, we're going to join this group of rebels. And Kanan's like, I don't want to be part of a war again. I did that. It was terrible. I lost everything. We haven't seen anything like that. Like these are soldiers who don't have a cause and we haven't seen them argue that they should.
Yep.
So it's kind of missing that emotional depth to it. It's missing the kind of background feel that I wanted. I wanted more of the Empire taking over, even if it was small stuff like we got in the second episode where it's like the chain codes and seeing the hologram and people being like, oh, it's gonna get bad, we gotta go.
Right. That was fun. That portions were fun. Those are like the tidbits that we already know about. You give us the stuff that we'd love for a long time and it's like, oh, this is the portion we didn't know about. That's fun.
And chain codes are new.
Something.
Chain codes are from The Mandalorian, but having it incorporated in here was great because it ties that even more in. So the fact that we haven't had that as much. I mean, we had it in, before this episode, the last 3, we saw the Empire taking over Separatist planet, and we saw the Empire taking over Republic planet, and both planets not liking that. I like that. I think that's very cool, and I would love to see more of like a rebellion forming where the two groups are coming together and like, we may have fought against each other, but this is worse.
I just want midi-chlorians to come back. Come on.
The M count? What was that from?
Midi-chlorians to come back. Why not? Give us some midi-chlorians.
Where do
I mean,
they call
at this
them?
point, I'll take any Star Wars lore, so I'm not gonna argue with you.
But I mean, like, I think they could do the Empire thing, like, in small ways. Like, maybe they hear, like, propaganda over the space radios or something like that. Like 100%. Posters on the walls, you know?
I 100%
small things
agree.
Like that.
It
and
does
it just,
not need to be in your face all the
time.
time.
They're not doing any,
just the background.
But they're not even doing that, so.
Yeah, peripheral. It would work great. I mean, like, they could, that, like, you're exactly right, because the episode where they get Jabba's pet, you had those guys being like, the Republic's not here anymore. We can be slave traders again. The Empire doesn't care. It's very small. It's very peripheral, but it works. And we've been lacking that for, like, we had it in the 3 episodes before this, but I feel like if you have it, like, peripherally like that, you need it to keep growing. And we've had it, but the reason it hasn't landed as well as it should is because the Bad Batch doesn't care. And they aren't affected.
They need to go to like a pro-Empire planet or something like that, where they have like the posters of like the Empire wants you, and probably has like some kind of hero that everybody just like, you know, like a Captain America hero for the Empire. That would be awesome to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, all that peripheral stuff has been there, but it feels so forgettable because we haven't had them care or be affected. Like, you didn't have them be like, wait, these slavers are coming back because the Empire is in charge? Like, the Empire is taking over Separatist and Rebel planets, or Republic planets. Like, they have had no, not a single conversation about it, no emotional attachment to it, no conflict related to it that ties into the main characters. So while that has all been there, it hasn't landed as well as it should, because you need the tie-in with the main characters. I feel like if you take out Bad Batch and you put in different characters in here that we're actually going to give a crap, it would work better. Like, why isn't this show about Rex?
Or Sock?
Right?
Yeah.
Make it about Rex. Rex is technically at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Return.
Because Rex would care. Even if we just had him in a few episodes to really get the Bad Batch to start to care. But the fact that they don't care has made it where the things that we want that are there don't land as well as they should. Because we have had a lot of that Empire world building, but it doesn't feel as big as it should.
Yeah, it's not as big. It's not as big. And it should be. It should be more about that, because this is the turn.
Yeah.
This is the turn. Speaking on the turn, it is getting quite late on our talk. Thank you guys for all being here. It's 6 of you still watching. Yeah. Final thoughts on the episode, though.
Episode itself?
Yeah.
I'd give it like an 8. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. Larger plot moving forward, no. We're in like the last little bit, like we're in the last quarter of the show, and it didn't do anything for that. So in that capacity, I give it a much lower score. But as an episode, I thought it was fun.
JD?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean, but if I'm talking about if I'm talking about a whole, like with everything, I'd probably just rate this like a 6 or something like that. I just want more. Like, they're just not giving us enough.
The main characters are too.
They're all too like-minded, right?
Are you okay?
Shay's not okay, obviously.
No, but I think we broke Rob.
the Bantha rump.
No, but the main characters other than Omega are too, it's not even that they're too similar. They're just like, they're still blank slates.
Yeah.
Like Wrecker's fun, that's about it.
Yeah.
But they haven't developed beyond Wrecker's funny, Tech smart, Echo's there, Hunter's in charge.
Echo's the droid.
I mean, he's there. That's basically what we got from him.
Yeah. He opens things.
I feel this season is lacking what this Bantha rump lacks in seasoning. But it's still fun though. It's still fun.
Yeah.
I'm still having fun.
That's fun.
I mean, it's not Last Jedi fun. It's definitely more like I don't know,
Prequels.
Attack of the Clones fun.
Prequels, yeah.
Which I don't hate Attack of the Clones. I just kind of look at it and go, that was interesting. Portions I like of it. The story just doesn't move very quickly, and that's fine. But
That's a really good comparison. You're totally right. Because I love like one of my favorite parts of the prequels is Padme and like Obi-Wan, of course, because she's great. So like her stuff is cool. The Padme Anakin stuff is kind of whatever, but like Padme's great. I love Obi-Wan investigating. I love when all three of them are like in like the gladiator ring.
Yeah, people dip on Attack of the Clones, and there are some really good, fun stuff in Attack of the Clones.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, we get Jango Fett and Boba Fett is like a young little section of those guys, you know? I mean, the Geonosians were interesting. I mean, I personally like Attack of the Clones. I think it's a weird name for a movie.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it says what it is. The clones attack. Great. They fight back. I mean, really, we get an origin story of where the clones come from.
And the Boba Fett origin story.
Exactly. And like you said, the tournament thing was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we get to go see more of the Jedi Temple in that one. I honestly, I'm not defending the prequels, but like, they're not bad. I don't mind them.
No.
I've never minded the prequels.
I enjoyed both 1 and 2 when I left the movies.
Yeah.
3, not so much, but...
Really?
Well, it wasn't because of the movie.
Mm.
So I'll give you the story real quick. I went to go see this movie with my ex, right?
Oh, okay.
But no, we were together at the time. We weren't exes.
Before you finish the story, I'm going to be Darth Vader at the end of the movie. Anyways, go ahead.
You know, it's packed. You know, it's premiere night, whatever. So we have to sit right in the front. You know, so we're sitting down already, waiting for the movie to start. And my girlfriend asked me if I can go buy her a soda. And I was like, no. I'm sitting here. And then she gets mad at me because I wouldn't go buy her soda. And then I get mad because she asked me to do this when it's like Star Wars premiere night for, you know, the last movie that I think is ever going to come out for Star Wars, you know?
Yeah.
So I go throughout that whole movie pissed at her. So it had nothing to do with the movie. It was all her.
Isn't it funny
That's hilarious.
that we can relate issues with when we watched a Star Wars film? Because I remember, and this is my biggest memory of that movie too. It's funny that you say it like that. My mom bought me a ticket because every Star Wars film that's been released again has fallen on my birthday, which is May 25th, usually.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Which has been great. All of them, except for these newer ones, Christmas. Okay, great. Disney wanted to make money. But usually they're in May. So it'll always be my birthday. And the last one, I was in high school, and I decided to skip school and watch it all day long.
Nice.
And my teacher was like, where'd he go? My mom was like, wait, you didn't go to school? I'm like, no. Star Wars happened that day. Why would I want to go to school?
I love your answer. Like, it's a ridiculous question. Like, you go to school? No.
No. What'd you do? I went and saw Star Wars. It came out on Friday. I had one ticket at noon. I had one at 2, and then I had one at 5, and then went home.
Super like good like that. I thought you would have like bought one
grounded like a year.
I mean, I think the next year I started working at the movie theater, so I like knew somebody there. So I was like, probably not a good idea. But no, it was at the time period where like, you know, we got ticket stubs. So like I still had all my ticket stubs.
I have them somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly where they are, but I think they exist somewhere. At least for the prequels.
But like I think it's funny that you relate that to like somebody trying to be like, oh no, go get me a drink. No. This is Star Wars.
Yes.
Wait, you just skipped school. Yeah, because it's Star Wars. Like, again, that goes back to like us being so picky on things because, you know, we depict these things in such a general, like, it's very like, you know, this episode was great, but we've literally picked this apart for the last 45 minutes. Which is and like...
Not the episode itself either.
No, not the episode itself.
Where it fits into the larger story.
Exactly. Which that's where it goes on the fact of being like, you know, us falling asleep inside of a movie because it's like, oh my gosh, really? Because this is what you're giving us? This is the end trilogy of this saga?
The last of like the 9-movie 40-year saga? Really? All right, great. Thanks.
That's what you gave us?
Yep.
And then the Mandalorian does a better live action show within 30 minutes of one episode.
Yep.
Than that entire bit. I can't wait for Book of Boba Fett. I think that thing's going to be so
That's where the count comes from. Yeah. It comes from Mandalorian, I forgot.
Yeah. That's from Mandalorian. Mandalorian.
Yeah. They're trying to make midichlorians cool. M-count.
Mandalorian, midichlorians.
Middle Mandalorians. Little Mandalorians. Little Mandalorians.
Yes.
There we go. That's how we bring it back. Mandalorians.
But yeah, I think the like first 2 prequels is a really good comparison for this. Like and Clone Wars.
They're great. They don't move quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a really good comparison because there's a lot of really cool stuff in this, and those like have cool stuff in it, but it doesn't have this. You don't have that same feel that you have with the originals.
No.
And story moves really slow, and you kind of are lacking. Like Star Wars is at its best when it is a war story because it's Star Wars.
Yep.
And we're missing that because the war here should almost be like a Cold War kind of or something, you know. It's like taking over, you know. So we are lacking that.
They should turn more into spies.
Yeah.
If they went and worked in this series as a bunch of spies, doesn't matter who they work for.
Yeah, I mean, they should be special ops for hire.
Yep. Why couldn't we have a special ops for hire?
So it should be.
I mean, they're not technically at that point. It wouldn't be bounty hunters. They would just be working for either one.
And they could still be getting chased by bounty hunters. I mean, yeah, like when it said they were going to be mercenaries, I assumed we were going to have that feel to it, but they have not been good like. They talk all the time. We're soldiers, and as they're introduced, it's like they're the top of the top. They're like the special forces of the clones, and you're like, really? Because they kind of suck at it when they're not fighting droids.
Yep. I miss the droids when they fought them.
The clankers.
The clankers. That also too. The droids in Clone Wars are so cool too because they had emotions. But they were funny with it.
Yeah. I remember the reason I was like, okay, I'll watch Clone Wars were the battle droids because they were so ridiculous. Like the one where it's like one of the ones in charge, like in the movie, like one of the ones that's like ordering them around falls off the cliff, and the other one's like, "Get back here!" So stupid.
Yeah.
So amazing. I was like, I'm in. I don't care if this is the dumbest thing ever. That is so amazingly hilarious. Like, he fell off the cliff. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Roger.
Roger. Get back here.
Or, like, when Grievous, like, leaves the ship because it's about to explode, and one of the other one's like, well, I guess I'm the captain now.
Boom. And they
Right?
blow up. Yep.
So stupid, but so fun. And we're missing that. Like, we have Wrecker, but other than that, we're missing that stupid fun that you need in Star Wars too.
But I would hope that even, that they would use like Tech, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
He had a really funny line there, like a couple episodes ago. It's like, why don't you get the quirky funny?
Yeah.
The smart funny.
Yeah, like when Harrow is flying and he's like, no, your sporadic, like, terrible movements are too confusing for them to follow too.
Yeah. Like some stuff like that would be like, I don't know, that would bring some more, I don't know, pizzazz to it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, even here, you could have had him make a bad joke when he drops the light bomb.
Yep.
And everyone like looks at him and he's like, what? Like we had that moment when they were in the droid like meltdown factory where you had that who's on first moment of like, is there an echo in here? Yeah, I'm here. What?
Yeah. Like that was funny.
So great, so funny.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Freemakers Lego series thing? So they have a droid, like a reprogrammed battle droid that works for them, and his name is Roger.
That's amazing.
That's funny.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It's a fun series if you just need something lighthearted and
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. I need to finish it, but
yeah, I think Bad Batch. It's respectable. It's got like solid episodes. You got some really good action. The animation is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's just missing a little bit of that Star Wars magic that I really was expecting here, especially coming off of the final season of Clone Wars. If you weren't coming off of the final season of Clone Wars and they hadn't marketed this as a continuation of Clone Wars, but also like something that new audiences could jump into,
yep,
it wouldn't be as big of an issue for me. But because it was like, for hardcore Star Wars fans, no, this is continuing that story, and you're seeing this new era that you've never seen before, and it's these characters that you fell in love with over the course of 4 episodes. I was like, sweet, I'm pumped, I'm in. And they kind of are missing that element to all of those pieces here.
Yeah. I think they're missing what made the clones the best part of Clone Wars, right? Because they all had their own personalities and things like that. They kind of have all their quirks, but they don't have personalities in this. So.
Yep, we haven't seen them. Again, it's like you need that conflict, or you need that really like camaraderie, and we haven't seen enough of it. Like Wrecker probably has the most personality, just because he's also the funny one.
Yeah, he's Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's totally the Ninja Turtles in space.
Popcorn instead of pizza.
Popcorn instead of pizza.
And Sid is Splinter.
Oh no.
She had the walking stick.
No, it's so true now. It's so true. That means they'll never get away from Sid. Unless she dies.
I feel like they're not gonna. I feel like they're not really, because the way they cheated, like the fact that Clone Wars was a war show but didn't have a lot of killing, is they only killed robots.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly true, because they never kill any humans.
Yeah, and if they did, it was like off screen.
Yeah.
Like there was one I remember, because it's a Jedi who we literally meet for 1 episode, and then he dies to give time, like to buy time for supplies to get delivered to Ryloth. But you don't see him die. You see his lightsaber fall, and you hear all the like blaster fires.
Well, and then it started getting dark with that one Jedi who just turned against all the clones, anyways.
That was crazy.
The guy that was the same race as Jet.
Yeah.
Jet.
The one from the
Dexter?
diner? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Dexter. Same race as Dexter. Yeah.
That was nuts.
That was
remember
one of the
episode.
best episodes of Clone Wars.
That was a great arc.
Like, yeah.
And I
That was
think
great.
we're missing, like, Clone Wars got dark. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
that's a really good example of that. Clone Wars got dark, and Rebels got dark too. Like, when Darth Maul freaking blinds Kanan, you know, like, they went there, and I feel like we haven't really done that with this, which seems a little odd because it is on Disney Plus. So you think that, while of course it's still going to be a family show because it's animation, you think that they'd be like, we can move a little farther. I mean, a good example of that was when the Death Troopers freaking, like, roasted those guys with a flamethrower. Like, we have not had that level of holy crap for a while.
I mean, and we haven't even seen Darth Maul. I was really hoping we were going to maybe see Darth Maul on this show.
I think we could if there's more seasons.
Yeah.
It would have made sense if they maybe put was it Crimson Dawn in this or Crimson Dawn, like, instead of the Pikes.
Yeah.
Well,
like, that would have been an Easter egg to, like, future Darth Maul, obviously. But
yeah, we could have even seen them talking to someone on, like, the hologram thing and just had the dark hood, and it would have worked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think Bad Batch it's probably middle ground for me for Star Wars right now. And I like the episodes. I look forward to watching the episodes. It's not like I'm dreading it or anything. But I just expected it to be a little higher caliber.
Amen to that.
Agreedo.
I like that. That's fun. Well, guys, it's getting about
Should call it
morning here. I feel like we could keep talking till like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But I would be drinking coffee and get more espresso going.
Yeah, I have to work 2 jobs tomorrow.
Oof.
Yep. All right. So join us again here next week for Bad Batch Watch Along for episode 14. We only got 3 left, so we are hoping for some really fun stuff with Crosshair, maybe Camino. We want to see the Bad Batch being badass. And for other shows on the Illuminerdi channel, we of course have the wrestling show on Sunday. We have the Rick and Morty Smoke Along on Sunday. We have our 4 Power Rangers shows that I still don't know the names of because I'm bad at that.
I know, but I don't.
Thanks for the assistance, JD.
The Ranger wrap up, the Retro Ranger wrap up, the Sentai show.
It sounds like
was there one more?
Ranger wrap ups.
Yep, that's close enough. So,
all right.
Come on down to the Ranger wrap up.
And we do not have the Marvel Watch Along right now because Loki just ended, but we will be back for that with the premiere of What If, which is, I believe, August 11th. So we will be back for that, and we're all very excited for it. And that will also be animation. Good face, Shay. Well done. So yes, please, again, join us here next Thursday at 11:40-ish p.m. for the next episode of The Bad Batch. And hopefully Josh will be back too, so we can have even more of us just really being super picky about everything.
And hopefully he brings Lumpy back with him, because I need Lumpy. Gotta have Lumpy.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Take care.
Have a good night. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.